what's a useful tool that applicants can and should use no matter what stage of the application process they're in?
So I think one of the most useful things that someone can do before they are even starting to write their application materials is to keep a journal. It sounds very simple. It sounds like something a little kid would do, your dear diary. But I found that so many people, when they sit down to write, their first question is, I don't know what to write about. If you will keep a journal for the months, even the years before you start writing, you can kind of flip back through that and see what you've done and kind of get an overall pattern. Often you'll see these patterns arising of things that you enjoyed, things that you did well, kind of the way that, I don't know, the universe is nudging you towards a certain area. And a lot of that can just slip by you in your daily life as you're running from one event to the next. But if you'll write it down just 5 minutes a day, then you'll have a whole wealth of material to go back on and look for later. Another really good reason to do this is because when you are writing, you have to support your claims. This is one of the most severe flaws that I see in a lot of people's writing in their first drafts is they will make claims about things that they did. I am a great team player. I'm a great leader. I am a great communicator. But without the examples to support that, there's nothing that will help the person who's reading the application believe that you are. And it's not that they necessarily disbelieve you, but they don't have anything to compare. So again, if you have something written down, those examples can be used to support your claims. And it will just make your application process so much more powerful, compelling, and convincing. And there's also a final reason for doing this. When you start to write your application, especially for medical school, but for any field, you're going to be doing a lot of writing. If you haven't been used to doing that on a daily basis, which you probably haven't been if you're a science major and you're, just focused on those kind of subjects, you probably are not doing a ton of writing. So if you will just take 5 minutes a day and start exercising your writing muscle, it will make the rest of the process feel so much easier when you finally dive in.
That's great advice. In terms of what to include in the journal entries, do you recommend just focusing on what happened, or perhaps why is it important and what they learned from it? I realize it's supposed to be only 5 or 10 minutes a day, but and I probably just expanded the 5 to 10. But anyways, what do you say about that?
I think both are useful. I think that a lot of people start out just writing about their daily activities, something that impressed them that they saw in the ER, something that a clinician did that they thought was really neat or that they said to them. It may be like an activity that someone told you to get involved in. So it can be anything, but those concrete examples I think are really important. Absolutely. As you start to break out, as you start to get more comfortable with writing, then sure, I think you'll start to notice things about what you think. And it really depends on how reflective you are as a person, I think. So yes, if you want to talk about things that are meaningful to you and actually start to do some little drafting along the way for what might be in your personal statement someday, that's fine. But don't take on too much, especially if you're not used to doing it, because it's better to have a little bit every day than to have a huge volumes at the beginning and then taper off.